feel like this is going to be harder to film than the first part. So 5W.1H is back with my depression story part 2. My name is Rani, and this time around I will be sharing with you, I guess, the personal side of my depression story. So to continue going off of what the general picture is, like I said in the last video, I'll give a little bit of background with what was the onset, when it was, and hopefully some people can relate even more, and if not, like I mentioned in the last video, then get the context out of it. If you're in something similar, then hopefully you get some pointers to apply to your own life. First off, I'd like to say thank you to all of those who messaged me or texted me and let me know that they're there for me when I need them. And just to kind of clear it, I wouldn't be able to talk in front of the camera if I wasn't as well as I am now. So thank you. And if I do have any breakdowns or anxiety attacks, then I will definitely run to you guys that let me know. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's very touching hearing that people actually care outside of who you thought were the only ones. Everybody has their reason, their own reasons. They have their own past. They have their own unique story in this world. For depression, the reason could be anything. It could be a multiple of things. It could be one thing, or it could be nothing. So yeah, one day you were just depressed and then didn't know what to do from there. Sometimes people are in denial of what they're going through, or you know from the past that that's not something accepted, and you try and put it away and you bottle it, and that's exactly what I did. My onset for depression was 3 years ago. 3 years and 2 months. See, I'd still even remember the date. I was in a 5-year relationship that I chose to keep, and it honestly just dragged me along. For all these years, I didn't realize what it was doing to me. And I mean, it wasn't all that bad. I did develop a friendship, and I don't regret it, but I did lose myself. I chose to pour out everything into one jar, and it was to a point where I forgot who I was, and it seeped into where I was, how I got there, and why I even loved myself anymore. I didn't really realize it. I lost how I valued myself, and that belief that I am worthwhile as an individual. It was pretty recent. I guess it was this summer, but at the end, the relationship, we just decided on mutual terms that it was better to let go than to keep holding on. There's this one photo that I came across on Facebook where there was a hand and it was just holding on to the rope so tight. So again, the analogy and metaphor applied to a relationship. If you're holding on so tight, it can hurt you more than letting it go. Bottom line, it was for 5 years the perception of love. Needless to say, it wasn't just that. That was the onset. So that relationship specifically was an onset, but my family, friends, co-workers, and just everybody around me. I was ashamed of having depression. I was ashamed in admitting that, I mean, this is a part of me now because it's looked down upon. I mean, right? It's not something good in anybody's eyes, but the pressure, like, of all aspects in life contributed to it. Usually it is like that, so something throws you off, you're on the edge already, and just like this one little thing pushes you, and that becomes your trauma, or that becomes the reason for you to have depression. And then afterwards, when you're in the dark, you start to let everything else affect it. You know, like every aspect of your life is starting to get affected because you have depression. The biggest mistake, looking back, that I made was not seeking for help. I was on antidepressants for about 9 months, and they weren't helping. I don't know, maybe that just wasn't for me, or maybe it wasn't the right brand, or I don't know. But at that point I was still in the relationship, so maybe again the mix of having whatever triggered my anxiety and depression. I mean, what good do the pills do if I still choose to keep whatever the root cause is in my life? Eventually I told my doctor that I didn't want to be on pills anymore and that I was better. I made myself believe that after I was off the pills that I was better. I took care of myself for that summer. I believe I was taking summer school, and I did some counseling at school, just the free counseling. And I also started running with my dog. Every other day that I could, we would run at least 4 kilometers around the block. And come the fall and winter, I was busy with school again, and I put everything away again. I don't know if I was just in denial of everything, and I hid everything, and the trauma that I went through in that relationship became today's paranoia. I was scared of being hurt that way again, and it was hard for me to trust again. I couldn't really run to anybody because I was getting either I told you so's, or again that I would get judged. Towards the end of the relationship, I felt completely beat. I hit rock bottom, and I just wanted to end the pain. I just didn't know how. It seemed like I was trapped in a room with 4 walls, without a door, and it's just dark all the time. One day, I decided to cut it completely, to just stop. And I saw the pain in other people's eyes, reflecting on how painful my situation was. I was anxious every day. I literally never saw the sun. I skipped every summer festival, every invite of any hangout, just everything. I just shut the world out. And I did something back then that I'm very glad that I did. I ran to my family first. They are everything to me, and yeah, I kept this from them for the longest time, and I needed to let them know how bad it's gotten. whoever you're closest to, go to them, and you'll be surprised how much love and care people have for you. I ran to a couple of my closest friends, the ones that are kind of there when you're going through something like this. They show sympathy and they make sure that you know that they're there when you need them. And then the next step, I went to a few more people that I knew I could trust. They may not have been friends, but they know how to listen. So that's pretty important, because that's all you really need. With someone that you know is depressed, all you need to do is listen. I went to a Medi Center, just sharing with the doctor that, I'm just anxious all the time. I would suggest if it's an emergency, either go to the emergency room or the Medi Center. But if you can get your family doctor the next day and you know that you can trust them, I would highly suggest to just go to them first, because when you're in that state and you feel rushed, it might add on to your anxiety. So again, your family doctor, they should be the ones that you trust. So go to them. So with my story of what is my mix and my treatments, my family doctor actually has these as needed pills for me. So they're on the lowest dose in half. So I don't know if I could even go any lower than that, but those are as needed, and I haven't taken them in about a month now. I try to go like the natural way. If there are foods, I think there's calming teas, like sleeping teas, or I just try to occupy myself with something that I know will make me tired, or talk to people, like text and stuff. But yeah, I even try to think that I'm not prescribed them anymore, just so that I'm training myself not to go on them. Because these anxiety pills are just like they'll help you right then and there, and actually if you take too much, or if the doctor gives you a high dose, it makes you dizzy and very sleepy, so you can't really function with them. So yeah, my current combination of treatment, the big thing right now, which I'm doing over 8 weeks, is called CBT, so Cognitive Behavior Therapy. And it's a group therapy with about up to 12 people. I think there's 11 of us in there. And yeah, so then there's 2 therapists, I guess. And yeah, it's very interactive. And I'll do a separate video for it, but again, that's the therapy that I'm going through. But that's it. I don't go to any individual counseling. It's every Friday at the same time, at the same place, until almost Christmas time, actually. So my very last one is going to be, I think, the week before Christmas, which is crazy. The second thing that I try to do, that I'm working on, is affirmation. So the positive thinking that you keep telling yourself, so that one day you'll start to believe it. Also, avoidance. Not forever, but avoidance in the things that can trigger your anxiety for a while until you're ready, and then test yourself little by little on how to cope with it. I have also been starting to do things that I've enjoyed. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but school, when I was in university, actually distracted me away from depression. So the stress in having exams, group presentations, projects, they all were a good kind of stress for me. And that's what I mean by everybody's different. Someone in school right now, it might be their reason for depression. I have all these expectations, and then I have to play them out, and maybe school is not for you, and that's okay. And one big thing in my life that I put away for 5 years is actually art and music. Like if I'm thinking way too much, I put music on and just listen my worries away. And art itself, I started to do those adult coloring books. Art was a big part of my life back in all my life since the 2nd grade up to 12th grade. Because when I went to university, I didn't continue it, and I was probably painting one painting every like few years. My last painting was 2012, the end of 2012, so that's almost 3 years ago. My goodness. Well, so that's what my current combination is for what's working out for me. And I've been going out more. I've been doing the things that I stopped doing when I was in a relationship. And yeah, I feel more free, and I can breathe, and I can say that for most of the day I am happy. It's better to walk away from a situation that you know is not good for you. I will do other videos more like, you know, depression and topic instead of just talking about depression all the time, because it's depressing. I hope that, you know, if you're concerned about someone you care about, then show them this video, show them fitting videos on YouTube that may be more relatable to their life. And I really highly encourage you to do that, because one of the things that they might want is alone time. And what I did back when I just didn't want to talk to anybody, I did watch YouTube videos, or I did watch movies. So if this is something that feels like I'm having like a conversation with them or with you that you don't know, if you don't know what to do, I'll do more videos on the do's and don'ts of depression itself, in my point of view. Because again, comment down below if there's anything that isn't working out for you or is working out for you that you'd like me to add into my future videos. But yeah, again, I'd like to thank the people that reached out to me so much. I really appreciate it. I do. And I promise that I'll go to you guys more if and hopefully not, this gets worse. But I don't plan on going that path and way anymore. So I'm gonna try to, again, know how to tame that black dog, aka depression, just in case it comes along. But, you know, throw that stick and play fetch instead of letting it put you down all the time. I hate that they use a dog, but that's okay. So please subscribe, comment, and suggest any of the videos that you want to see in the future. It's 5w.1h. I have Instagram right now and this YouTube channel. So I'll spread my social media accounts onto other platforms once I establish a little bit more information about this channel. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.